everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today, we'll see one of the more dangerous passing offenses. The Seahawks are top 10 in passing TDs, and they go up against the Redskins defense that will need to be on its game. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Gott and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup.
Larry, overcast skies, but knock on wood, no rain on the radar to speak of right now as we welcome you to CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Washington Redskins. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start. But I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, we're in November now, so this is where you really need to settle in, start getting down to business.
And in baseball, they talk about the dog days of August. November, these are the dog days of football, trying to get in position for the big push.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by Kirk Cousins, their Pro Bowl quarterback, in his 6th season now.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
First carry down for Rob Kelly. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll go again with Kelly. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. On play action, Cousins. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Michael Bennett, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor.
It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right? Draws, screens, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quicker, maybe some quick game passes. All of that to try and help slow down a pass rush and make things easier on their offensive line.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Returnable for Lockett. Oh, look at that. Ooh, the juke. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback. run for the first time with Lacey. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And this offense often hinges on one of the best tight ends in the league, and that's Jimmy Graham.
I think he made up for lost time when he got to the NFL because in college, he was mainly a basketball player, a defender who couldn't score. Now he's flipped it around in the NFL. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to score.
They run it again with Lacey. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Hurry up, here we go. They'll try and run for it. Here's Lacey. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And a good little broken tackle run there for the former 2nd-round pick, Eddie Lacy.
He's a big back, and he runs with some power and definitely with some physicality. And enough of those types of runs, as they accumulate, they turn into bigger runs later because after a while, guys don't want to deal with him.
Here we go now. Now a 1st down carry. It's Lacy. Eddie Lacy, see you later. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Eddie Lacy, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's finished off by a touchdown run coming from Eddie Lacy. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. On the return, here's a speedy Jamison Crowder. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
Well, the drive starts with Rob Kelly. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Bobby Wagner's one of the more fluid middle linebackers in the NFL, able to range deep in coverage, also able to rush the quarterback both inside and off the edge, and is an absolute tackling machine in the running game.
Second down, 9 yards to go. They'll keep it in the hands of Kelly. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up fourth. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. All right, let's shift our attention to Eddie Lacy. So far, been so good this season. Well on his way, as you see, to a 1,000-yard campaign. Is he almost having the type of year to where you say, let's let him get his and we'll control everything else?
That's one way to go about it. Personally, I go about it differently. I'm taking on the bullet. I've got to, because he gives his team an identity and confidence. And if we slow him down, now guess what? Everyone starts looking at each other like, who's going to make a play? Because he's made all the plays so far. So I have to go get him first. Build my defenses towards shutting him down.
Good luck. I mean, not many teams have been able to do it. We'll see.
Well, add that play to his resume reel, because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
Again, it's Lacy. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. The 30. And all the way in, touchdown, Seattle. Eddie Lacy, 81 yards. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front, because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Extra point try now for Walsh. And it's good to make it 14-0. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And they'll start in a hole here as he's brought down at the 11-yard line. On 1st and 10, Cousins. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he is knocked down from the side. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to see it. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Off the play fake, Cousins. Out to the left here to Reed. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. They run with it. It's Kelly, and he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
While there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
He'll leave it for Kelly, complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
A first carry for Samaje Perine, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple down inside the 35 to the 34.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And this will be a dump off for Kelly. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Two minutes to go here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. We're just 2 minutes away from sending you to Orlando for Larry Ridley in our EA Sports Halftime Report, so don't forget about that coming up shortly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a halftime without him, and we thank him for doing the highlights. Let's go get a snap.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Eddie Lacy coming back onto the field now. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they're really in sync right now.
Very tough spot here for the offense to start. They begin the drive with Lacy. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Here we go now.
On the ground, this is Lacy. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Here we go now.
And they run with a backup. This is Thomas Rawls. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the 1st down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. They'll drop the throw. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. Doug Baldwin, 30, 10, and all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin, an 80-yard touchdown, and the Seahawks add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The first update from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, and the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. Carson Palmer with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Walsh now for the PAT. And it's 21-3. So that drive, 4 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Reminder later tonight, a good one down in Miami. It'll be the Raiders and the Dolphins. A lot of playoff history between those two in the 70s.
Yeah, there sure is.
And then tomorrow night, we wrap up Week 9, the unofficial halfway point of the season with the Lions and Packers from Lambeau. First down, here's Cousins. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him, they've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. This is Kelly. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front as we will send you eastward to Orlando and Larry Ridley. He's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Larry.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA halftime report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Seahawks are happy to be sitting in the locker room with the lead. The Redskins didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half. First and 10. Lacey's going to take it up the middle, and a quick three-play drive ends with the score. Seahawks take the early lead. Seahawks on offense. First quarter winding down. Lacey's going to get loose thanks to great blocking, and nobody can stop him on this long touchdown. Second and 2 coming up as they move out in front, 14-0. Reed's wide open, able to make the grab, and he'll be tackled at their own 44-yard line. However, they only come away with a field goal on the drive. Now first and 10, Baldwin's by himself here, and this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown. That takes the lead up to 18. So that'll do it from here in Orlando. For the second half kickoff, let's get you back up to Seattle and Brandon Guy.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to fire one deep left. He's got a man complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Offense comes to the line now, first and 10.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in second and manageable.
And he'll go out of bounds down inside the 15-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Lets this one rip toward, and he's got the big tight end Graham. Touchdown, Seattle. Jimmy Graham, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover it? When I sit in the film section, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You going to yell at me? You go cover him.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And the Seahawks defense heads back out there now. And they've got the lead. Last time they surrendered the field goal. We'll see what they do this go-around.
And giving up 3 is never ideal because any defense wants to pitch a shutout. But that's not a bad thing in most situations.
Kelly stripped. The ball is free. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he'll be marked down at the 2-yard line.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are. And now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. Pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
He gets it halfway there with that run. I think you play up-tempo, get right back on the line of scrimmage, and hammer at him again.
Back to throw. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Preston Smith. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
Let's go! Green!
Rolls. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Thomas Rolls. His first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's Thomas Rawls who finishes it off with a touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
They'll start on the ground with Kelly. And he'll get this one up to the 26. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here we go with 2nd and 7.
Strong left! Strong left! Strong left!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job 1 for anyone who's carrying it, and that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
Cousins now. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. The last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to leave the booth.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Zach Brown not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack. I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Redskins will take possession with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so and he loses the football a second time. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Looking to throw. Letting one go deep for the end. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Play fake. Cousins. He finds Quick. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And the connection made to Terrell Pryor. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. Cousins now to throw on first down. He's got Quick. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Cousins on first down. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
To the air again, it's Cousins. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Mike Bennett in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Cliff Averill in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Now let's go.
A running play for Rawls. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave it with a 2nd and 3.
All right, here we go.
On 2nd down, Rawls. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And now running right through it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
They go play action here on first down. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
They are on to the fourth quarter now, by the way, in Santa Clara. And the Cardinals continuing to surge. They've scored again. Carson Palmer with 3 touchdown passes to help lead the way. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Redskins now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners
who
had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. They had the short field and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Michael Bennett in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And this looks to probably be the final play. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Seahawks, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.